Imagine this. You're trekking across Antarctica's endless white desert, where the wind howls like a banshee and the cold bites deeper than any winter you've known back home. But right under your boots, hidden by miles of ice, a massive cauldron of molten rock bubbles and stirs, ready to reshape the world above. Scientists now know that this frozen fortress isn't just a giant ice cube, it's a volcanic hotspot, with over 140 volcanoes simmering beneath the surface. And as our planet warms, they might just wake up in ways we never expected. Hey there, friends! Welcome to a journey into one of Earth's wildest secrets. I'm talking about Antarctica, that mysterious continent at the bottom of the globe that's equal parts awe-inspiring and terrifying. You probably picture it as the ultimate freezer, home to penguins and polar explorers battling blizzards. And yeah, it's got about 90% of the world's fresh water locked up in its ice sheet, thicker than the height of the Empire State Building in places. But here's the twist. Beneath all that ice, Antarctica is on fire, literally. It's got more volcanoes than Italy, and many of them are hidden, active, and influencing everything from ice melt to our changing climate. Let's dive in and uncover how this icy exterior hides a molten heart that's been beating for millions of years. First off, let's set the scene. Antarctica isn't some dead rock floating in the Southern Ocean. It's geologically alive and kicking. Picture the Earth like a cracked eggshell. That's the tectonic plates shifting and grinding. Antarctica sits on the Antarctic plate, but it's rubbing shoulders with the Pacific plate to the west and the Indo-Australian plate to the east. This creates rifts and hotspots where magma from deep inside the planet pushes up, forming volcanoes. Most of us think of volcanoes as dramatic peaks spewing lava like in Hawaii or Iceland, but in Antarctica, the ice sheet, up to 3 miles thick, buries most of them. It's like nature's ultimate blanket, smothering the heat but not extinguishing it. How did we even find out about these hidden giants? It started way back in the 1800s with explorers like James Clark Ross, who in 1841 spotted a smoking mountain on Ross Island. He named it Mount Erebus, after his ship HMS Erebus, which means darkness in Greek, fitting for a place shrouded in polar night. Fast forward to the 20th century, scientists began using planes equipped with radar and magnetometers to peer under the ice. In 2017, a team from the University of Edinburgh dropped a bombshell. They mapped 91 previously unknown volcanoes in West Antarctica alone, some rising nearly 12,000 feet from the seafloor. And that's not all. By 2025, estimates put the total at around 140 or more, making this the world's largest volcanic province under ice. Fun fact, the tallest one discovered so far, Mount Hope, pokes up about 10,000 feet, taller than Japan's Mount Fuji, but you'd never know it from the surface. Now let's zoom in on the star of the show, Mount Erebus. This bad boy is the southernmost active volcano on Earth, standing at 12,448 feet tall on Ross Island, right near McMurdo Station, where U.S. researchers hang out. It's been erupting for about 1.3 million years, but what makes it extra cool is its persistent lava lake. Since at least 1972, there's been this glowing, churning pool of molten rock in its summit crater, one of only 3 permanent lava lakes on the planet. The others are in Congo and Hawaii. Imagine hiking up there in sub-zero temps, peering over the edge into a 1,000-degree inferno. Scientists monitor it with webcams and drones, and it spits out gas plumes that can reach 30,000 feet high. In 1985, there was a tragic Air New Zealand crash into its slopes, but today, it's a lab for studying how volcanoes behave in extreme cold. Erebus isn't just pretty. Its gases, like carbon dioxide and hydrogen, give clues about what's brewing deeper down. But Erebus is the show-off, the one poking through the ice. The real intrigue is the subglacial volcanoes, those sneaky ones fully buried under the ice sheet. These form when magma rises but gets capped by the frozen overburden, creating what's called a subglacial eruption. Think of it like cooking soup in a pressure cooker. The ice acts as the lid, trapping heat and gases until something gives. Instead of big lava flows, you get explosive steam blasts or lakes of meltwater forming underneath. We've detected over 100 of these in the West Antarctic Rift System, a massive crack in the continent stretching hundreds of miles. They're powered by mantle plumes, hot upwellings from Earth's core that keep the magma chamber topped up. How do we even know they're there without digging? It's a mix of high-tech detective work. Seismic sensors pick up tiny earthquakes from magma moving, like the rumbles you feel before a storm. Gravity surveys spot denser rock where magma pools, and ice-penetrating radar reveals weird heat signatures or cavities. One standout example is in the Hudson Mountains, where a cluster of about 20 volcanoes has been warming the overlying ice for thousands of years. This geothermal heat melts basal ice, creating slippery water layers that make glaciers flow faster, kind of like oiling a sled. Subglacial Lake Vostok, one of the largest freshwater lakes on Earth, sits above such activity. It's been isolated for 15 million years, harboring ancient microbes that could rewrite what we know about life in extreme environments. Speaking of life, these hidden volcanoes might be nurturing ecosystems we can barely imagine. In places like Iceland, where subglacial volcanoes poke through thinner ice, they've created warm oases with algae and bacteria thriving in hot springs. In Antarctica, the heat sustains microbial mats in those under-ice lakes, possibly similar to what might exist on Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. It's like finding a cozy campfire in a blizzard, proof that where there's heat, there's hope for life. But here's where it gets really exciting and a bit worrying. As climate change melts Antarctica's ice from the top down, it's unloading the weight on these volcanoes. That ice sheet weighs trillions of tons, pressing down like a giant thumb on the magma chambers below. Remove it, and the pressure drops, allowing gases to expand and magma to rise more easily. A 2025 study from the British Antarctic Survey modeled this. They ran thousands of simulations and found that even modest melting could trigger eruptions in up to 100 subglacial volcanoes, especially in West Antarctica. It's not like the whole continent will turn into a lava park overnight, but localized blasts could spew ash high into the atmosphere, cooling the planet temporarily while accelerating ice loss. Let me break it down with an analogy. Remember how soda fizzes more when you shake the bottle and pop the cap? That's decompression, gases bubbling out explosively. In the past, at the end of the last ice age about 10,000 years ago, similar unloading led to a spike in volcanic activity worldwide. Fast forward to now. Satellite data shows West Antarctica's Thwaites Glacier, nicknamed the Doomsday Glacier, is retreating fast, partly lubricated by subglacial heat. If a volcano under there erupts, it could melt even more ice, raising sea levels by feet and flooding coastal cities like Miami or New York. A July 2025 paper in Nature Geoscience warned of this ticking time bomb, linking glacier melt to more frequent explosive events. Not everyone agrees. Some geologists argue the effect is overhyped, since volcanic heat contributes less than 1% to overall ice melt compared to warmer oceans. But the research is piling up, and expeditions are ramping up to monitor it. Take the 2024-2025 field season. Teams from the US and UK drilled through 2 miles of ice to place sensors near suspected hotspots. They found elevated temperatures and seismic swarms, signs of restless magma. One fun discovery? Fumaroles, steam vents, bubbling up through cracks, releasing ancient air pockets with CO2 levels higher than today's atmosphere. It's like time traveling to a prehistoric Earth while standing in the future. Why does this matter to you sitting there in the States, maybe sipping coffee on a sunny morning? Antarctica's stability affects us all. If these volcanoes amp up, it could mess with global weather patterns. The ash clouds might dim the sun, dropping temperatures short-term but worsening long-term warming from trapped heat. Plus, it highlights how interconnected everything is. Human emissions melt ice, which pokes the volcanic bear. But there's hope in the science. By studying these hidden forces, we're learning how to predict eruptions and protect the ice sheet. Projects like NASA's Operation Ice Bridge use planes to map changes in real time, giving us eyes on the ground, or under it. As we wrap this up, think about it. Beneath the serene, sparkling ice of Antarctica lies a world of fire and fury, a reminder that our planet is anything but static. These volcanoes have been quietly shaping the continent for eons, and now, as we tip the balance, they might roar back to life. What other secrets are waiting down there? Will they help us understand alien worlds or warn us of our own fragility? The more we explore, the more we realize how much mystery remains. So, next time you hear about polar bears or global warming, wait. Penguins in Antarctica, remember the fire below. Stay curious, keep learning, and who knows? You might just inspire the next big discovery. Thanks for joining me on this chilly adventure. See you in the next one.